So, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. We're here to talk about a very important issue as UPC and nursing students. So, I'm pertaining to what can be done to improve the nursing curriculum. So, to start off, I think we should define what a curriculum is. So, does anybody have a definition? Yes, Susanna.
So, based from my research, curriculum, according to the Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, is a set of courses that are offered by an educational institution or university.
To add up on what Susanna said, I would like to point out that curriculums are created for the optimum learning of the students in that educational institution.
Right, okay. So, as what Susanna mentioned, it's a set of courses, and this is for the optimum learning of the students. So, does everybody agree with that definition? Yes. Okay. So, now let's talk about the general education courses which are included in our curriculum. Can anybody recall what are the general education courses?
Some of the general education courses are the mathematics and the chemistry subjects, and then natural sciences,
Communication,
Humanities, social studies,
statistics,
laws,
philosophy,
natural science,
history, EI.
So, what about the major courses in our curriculum for nursing?
of course,
Fundamentals. To start off for the first year, we took Nursing 1, which is behavioral foundations of nursing.
we also
And
took up anatomy and
and
physiology,
Nursing 3. And Nursing 2, we had the
Human development.
human development. Nursing 4, pathophysiology. Then Nursing 5, pharmacology.
so on.
And so on and so forth.
So, we've already set the definition and we've already enumerated all the courses that we're taking. So, now I think we should limit our topic because, of course, it's very vast. The whole idea of improving our curriculum is very general. So, to limit, are we only concerned with our curriculum for UP College of Nursing, or would we include the curriculum of other nursing schools in our country? Yes,
I
Ella.
think we are only concerned with the BSN curriculum in UP College of Nursing.
Okay. So Ella thinks it's better if we just stick to our own curriculum.
To add with what Ella said, I think that we should focus first with our curriculum in changing our curriculum rather than trying to change the whole curriculum of BS Nursing to country.
Yes, and why is that?
I guess I agree with both of them, and I think that we should focus on our college curriculum first so that we could implement it properly.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so are we going to focus on just our major courses, or are we going to include the general subjects that we are also taking?
I think when you say the BSN curriculum, it encompasses even the general education subjects. Because I think the general education subjects serves a purpose for the major subjects. Like you cannot take the major subjects without passing Math 11 and so on. So I think we're concerned with both the majors and the general education subjects.
Yes. So does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
So we've limited our topic to only UP College of Nursing curriculum and both major and general education. So now let's go to the nature of the problem itself. What is the status quo? How would we see that there is this problem? It exists in our community. What are the
What are the evidence?
signs, the evidences? Yes.
Based on what I've observed, many students are losing their interest with the course itself.
Yeah. In addition to that, aside from losing interest in the course, as a result of this loss of interest of the students, we can see that the number of regular students taking up the BS nursing course is decreasing in number. So every year, it's decreasing and decreasing. That's the one evidence that I can point out.
Well, we could also take note the number of students who shift out of the course.
And I think the mental health issue of the students should be considered in this
Yes.
process.
So are there other ideas, reasons that you think are also included as evidences? Others?
I think in the mental health situation, we can point it to the cause that the curriculum is too loaded, that you have
Yes.
to take the course in 4 years without any good breaks or any, some subjects are not reasonable to be paired with this one. Why are we taking this along with this one? Or why are we taking this now only when we have taken the more advanced subject like Math 11? So I think that adds up to the mental trauma that can be seen in students in the physical.
Yes, I agree. So, to put it all in a nutshell, we agree that it's because students are losing interest. Regular students are lessening, and it could be because they're shifting out, and the mental health issues also involved. Yes. Okay. So, given that we modify the curriculum, what should we consider?
I think we should also consider our resources such as the faculty, the budget, because if we are going to set unrealistic expectations or unrealistic modifications to the curriculum, I don't think it will realize into a concrete and effective one.
Yes.
We should also consider and evaluate the opinion of the majority of the faculty and also the students, because they are the ones concerned in this problem of our curriculum.
And since we're changing it, I think we should also take note of the students' capability now, like how much they could handle for that sem.
I think we should consider cooperating with other colleges that are involved in our curriculum, like College of Medicine, because some of their professors also teach in our curriculum, and we should get their opinion first whether they will agree to this kind of plan.
I also think that the K to 12 system would also affect the whole curriculum, of course, because as I've heard before, I think they're changing it because of the K to 12 system, right? So we've agreed that we should consider the resources, the opinions, of course, of everybody involved, and even the colleges, other colleges, and the capabilities of the students as well, and of course the K to 12 system. Yeah. So, what do you think are the students' attitudes towards the current curriculum?
I think they have the same sentiments as the ones that we have in this discussion.
Yes. Yeah, speaking as a nursing student, right? So what do you guys feel?
I believe that most of the students are just complying with the set load of the curriculum, and that yes, they tend to do good in board exams, but when it comes to clinical setting, they might really not be able to use their knowledge because the curriculum is not revised as they planned to be.
Yes. So other more.
I think the students had become so resilient that so resilient because in the light of the present condition in UPCN, in curriculum meetings, there have been minimal participation of students when it comes to curriculum meetings. So whatever is served to them every semester or how many units are given to them, they do not really have a say on that, and it's just like about the faculty and the college and the expectations set by the university.
But in relation to that, I actually agree, and I think it's a good thing that we are being resilient.
Yes.
It's a great
But
training
too
ground.
much resilience is also bad for us.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
don't try to change what's making us suffer.
Because do the cons outweigh the pros? Do you guys agree that the cons outweigh the pros?
I think it has come to a point that the cons already outweigh the pros because we had to reform the curriculum because
Yeah.
if the pros outweigh the cons, I don't think there's a need for a curriculum or a drastic curriculum
Yes.
change like this.
I agree. Okay, so what are the reasons, sorry, why students remain to take the same curriculum now?
I think because since the faculty sees this current curriculum, the graduates produce based on, for example, board exams, they can see that the output is, it's not that devastating. It's always 100%, like they say. So based on this output in these board exams, I think they believe that with this current curriculum, they believe that it's effective in their journey.
My point is that I think students have no choice to take up this kind of curriculum because no one reports or suggests reforms or modifications until now.
So basically, like what Susanna said, students have no choice. So like what they said as well.
Comply.
Yeah, it's more on just complying. That's why we're all still here.
Here talking about it.
Okay, so let's move on. What are the causes why there is a need for the improvement of the nursing curriculum? What are the
I think the number of shift outs in the college would be one, plus the number of students who get delayed.
Yes.
That I think.
And I think, oh sorry.
Yeah,
I think the cases of depression among the students.
So mental health.
Mental health.
Of course, I would like to add the compressed time for each course because as we have experience, for example, for our nursing 12, which other schools would take for 1 month, we're only taking it for about 9 days. So how would we learn about that? We're just mastering. If we are mastering the subject and we're not really comprehending what's inside the course.
So
I think there also have been poor coordination with the subjects. Like we already took Math 11, then after a semester for the short term, we're going to take Math 1, which is fundamentals. But after college algebra,
We already took chem subject.
we already took Chem 14, then Chem 31, then Chem 40, and that's the time you take the NATSI 1,
Yeah.
which is the basic.
Basic.
So I think there should be more coordination rather than just keeping up with the desired number of units that the student present.
Maybe just one thing. Maybe the introduction of the major courses during our first year was a bit a cause for our change in curriculum because, as we know, freshman year is the year where we adjust to our needs in first year college. So maybe the early introduction of the major courses was a bit sudden for us because we're still adjusting. So that's one cause for a change in curriculum.
I would just like to say something. I would just like to disagree on some points on what Susanna said because I believe that early exposure to the major courses during the early years, for example, freshman year, we can expose these students on what we are about to face during the span of time we are learning. And since we all know that BS nursing requires extensive learning, this can function as like a foundation during the starting years because we know that we need to learn so much, and then as you go from one year to the other, it's connected to each other. So like, just my point is that I can see this as a foundation during the early years.
In addition to what she said, I think putting a major in your freshman years is actually good somehow because, like in my case, I had an overview of the course and you will be able to choose if you want to continue the course or shift out. Like at the beginning, you will have that decision already.
I acknowledge the points made.
Yeah, I think you have a point there.
Right?
Yes, but is the first course that what's the first course that you took able to give a real introduction to the course?
Not really.
To the whole curriculum.
I think although introducing a major subject early is good, but I think it depends with what subject is introduced. Because nursing one is behavioral foundation. If you are at SI, you will also be taking the same, and that's not uniquely nursing. I think, for example, if the course that will be introduced earlier is F10, fundamentals, which is not possible, I think, because it takes really time to master the fundamentals. It takes too many prerequisites in order to understand fully the concepts of human life and some math 11 because you have to regulate the IT. So I think although putting major subjects earlier is good, maybe if you like the idea of putting it earlier, maybe the subject, what is to be put earlier is the focus of the new curriculum. So to make the both ends meet, we put a subject earlier, but we make sure that it is a slice of life in nursing and is unique from other courses.
I agree.
That's a
So,
good point.
and would anybody else like to add to that?
I agree with what you said.
Okay. So we've all agreed that the need for improvement would be because, of course, it's disturbing, it's alarming how there are so many people who'd like to shift, and there are so many who are getting delayed, and of course the mental health is getting involved in the compressed time, and the poor coordination with the subjects. But then we somehow had like disagreements with the whole putting in the major in the first year. But in totality, do we all agree that majors should be placed in first year?
The majors that should be put in the first year are just for uniquely in nursing,
Yes.
so as to help the students realize if nursing is really
Realize
is
right
for
away.
the rest.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Moving on. So, what do you think are the effects if the problem remains unresolved? How would it affect?
Just like what was discussed earlier, it affects the mental health of the students.
Yes.
As someone who experienced this, the depression that the nursing curriculum has given effect to me. I have tried to seek help from the Office of the Student Affairs, and I've encountered some of our former classmates or batchmates that are also trying to seek help there because they also experience this kind of situation.
In connection to health-related concerns, not only the mental health is risk, I can also see that physical health is risk. Because for some instances, the requirements that is about the papers that we need to pass, some students even skip meals just to finish this paper, to meet the deadlines of this passing of papers. So, because of this curriculum, I think that in order to cope, in order to meet the deadline, the students choose to skip their meals. So, or in order to have to meet good grades in school, they risk their good health. So I found it ironic because we're in BS nursing, yeah, we said health science, we're supposed to take care of patients, but we ourselves can't take care of ourselves. So that's a concern if this problem can be resolved. Yeah.
I think also the number of students who shift out and drop a course or a subject, especially the major ones, will be higher if this is not to be modified.
Definitely.
I think the performance of the students will be sacrificed, especially in the clinical area, wherein you're in front of an actual patient. Because there are times that the student is sleep deprived, and there are some errors that cannot be controlled or prevented. So yeah,
I think not only in the clinical setting, but in the long run, if this curriculum continues to be implemented, our performance in board exams can also be affected because if you have poor instruction, then you have poor students who are going to take the exam. So unless we address this problem, we cannot sleep peacefully after a board exam if we are sure that I did get the best education that I can have during my college years.
So I guess we could agree that it's definitely going to make the student suffer more. Physically, mentally, emotionally, yes, and academically. It will definitely affect every aspect of the student and his or her life. So at least we've all agreed on that, and we know now that it's a very important thing to be resolved. So what should we consider in arriving at a responsible solution? What would be the criteria that we should put upon it?
I think we should aim to make the course more manageable, if not easier. Because we all know, let's face the fact that nursing is not an easy course. But if we are going to make it more manageable, which is more visible in the long run, I think it should be included as a criteria for a new curriculum.
And I would also like to add that we should aim to or rearrange the order of the subjects. Like for example, one subject should be really a prerequisite for our major course so that we can use that general education subject and not just to comply with what the curriculum is stating that we should get in that semester.
I suggest that instead of taking it in a span of 4 years, let's shift it back to the original 5-year course. Because the pros of having this 5-year course now is we can have these breaks. Since when we shifted from a 5-year to 4-year course, the mid-years, we also take this as classes. So once we shift from a 4-year to a 5-year course, we can take these several breaks every 2 terms. And I think this will gladly address the mental health of the students because once we take a break, we take a rest from all the pressure, stress we get from studying, from all we receive from this academic course.
In addition to what Susana said and Nikki said, if we're going to make nursing into a 5-year course, I think that we should also make the right combination of the subjects, right? So that it could lighten not lighten, like more manageable, our loads will be manageable, and we could balance out everything in our life, like social life.
As a criteria, do we aim to lengthen the hours of clinical duties of the students um, in equal to the theoretical part, or do we lessen, or what do we what do you think should be our
Well, I believe that we should extend the clinical hours because it's just as important as our theoretical portion of the course, because not only we need the knowledge, we also need to apply this knowledge, because nursing is an art and a skill, and we should practice this to patient care. That's why we need to extend the clinical hours duty.
Yes, to add to that, I think we actually get to learn more, and we retain the knowledge more when we apply it.
Because you all know that this, the things the theoretical says is different from the real world setting. So that's also a factor.
And it teaches us to be more flexible, because we need to be flexible, especially in PGH setting.
And
Philippine setting.
Yeah, in Philippine setting.
when you learn theoretically, it's like we're learning the skills first, right? So we have to master it theoretically before we go and do it in person, right?
Yeah.
So that we couldn't risk another
A person's
Yeah.
life. Yes. That's right.
In addition to that, I'm not sure about you, but it's my opinion. Well, wouldn't it be better if the general electives would be tackled first instead of the the major subjects? Because I think that the general electives are the foundation and the basic knowledge of all the courses. And I think that it would be better to put the major subjects in the maybe the mid-year,
Second year.
I think since we are setting the criteria first, maybe we can reserve that to the later when we formulate the solution. Since if you're going, so majority of the answer is we're like solutions. So as the criteria, I think we set first. So if you're going to take into account what others said, so you're going to include in the criteria the time or the length, then the order of the subjects, and
clinical
clinical honors.
Yes.
So what else?
I think that some subjects are really fast-paced and a bit, that sometimes you have too much information to absorb. I think that there are subjects that need to be taught in a slower pace so that we could absorb what they're teaching, and so that we could apply it more. I think we could apply it better than.
An example I can cite for that is the maternal and child health nursing course we are taking up. You all know that giving birth does not only risk the baby's life but also the mother's life. So we need to learn this thoroughly, because in our course we only study this for like 2 weeks. Then
Yes. 9 days.
9 days.
Yes.
Then we immediately went to the field, and yeah. So
I agree with what just Nikki said, that a woman is pregnant for 9 months, then we're going to study the whole process for 9
9
days.
days.
So,
1 day per month.
Okay, so other more criteria that you'd like to add? Okay. So basically, for our criteria, our main goal is to make it more manageable. If we can't make it easier, we just want it manageable. And for that, we need to fix the pacing, of course, and the subjects involved. And of course, we have to consider also the order, yes, and what the effect of it on the students as well. Okay, so like what the others have mentioned a while ago, we've already been proposing the solution, right? Okay, so with that criteria, Nikki proposed that we extend the curriculum to 5 years. Yes, and Shane propose that
Take
the general subjects would be taken first. Okay, so do you have any comments regarding that?
With the general subjects to be taken first, I have to disagree a bit because I think because when you finish all the general education courses, your majors will be packed up in the later years. Wouldn't that be more stressful?
Yes, I agree.
Because there's no breathing subject where you can just
Chilling.
chill. And not that chill, but you can breathe.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that as we experienced in our previous sems, we experienced going from Pedro Hill to Paura after Julie just to come to class for our general education subject. So I think it's more stressful for us. And sometimes we even sacrifice coming to school, coming to class, just to do our paperwork when we have journals or requirements.
Well, I would like to agree with some part of what Shane said because, for example, some general education courses like, for example, with communication courses or philosophy, which are not that really related to our course, we may take that earlier. But for example, the chemistry courses like Chemistry 40, which we needed for our N5, so I would like to propose that we take it if not simultaneously, just before, like for example, Chem 40 first and then N5, so that the retention is better and we may use what we learned from that general education course in our major courses.
So other one. What about other solutions that you can propose other than the expansion of the curriculum to 5 years?
I think we need to streamline the curriculum in a way that we time the general education subjects with the major subjects. So we do not just put the humanities and the history subjects haphazardly as if we are just complying with the number of units to prevent us from underloading. So in streamlining, we are going to is either we remove the subjects that are redundant, like for example, we already took the Chem 14 and the 14.1, then we're going to take NatSci 1 after a year. So I don't think that just makes sense. So another option, if we are not going to remove, we reorder it or we rearrange it in a way that it is logical and reasonable. So if the curriculum really demands us to take a fundamentals of mathematics subject, then maybe we can take it ahead or earlier than Math 11. So with that, I am sure that since Math 11 is a big prerequisite for BS nursing, it will incur a lot of changes to the curriculum. So I think streamlining is the best one rather than just putting all the GE subjects earlier. But I guess putting GE subjects in a reasonable sequence and a logical one will be better.
Yes. So, do you guys agree with Ella's? Yes. So, are there other?
And maybe one solution more is to increase the student participation
Yes.
in deciding about our curriculum because it's our curriculum. We are we're the ones who should finish it in 4 years, so we should have a say about this.
They should have meetings like
Yes.
Yes.
And not just who's the one responsible. Yeah, the NSC chair. I say that there should be more student participation. What are your suggestions about student participation? What can the students do to increase the participation?
I think the council should organize a student consultation time for the subjects because although I think that it will be carried out, especially if there is K to 12, there will be a curriculum meeting, but I'm not just sure if there will be a consultation. So maybe the council can do a student consultation like the ones they did with the RSA.
Yes, I agree with what Ella said because I've noticed the meeting the advances that we've been having, meeting the advances, or the General Assemblies, sorry. General Assemblies, not all go there every year,
Yes.
right? So it's better if we do it in a lesser group so we could have more freedom to.
Yeah, because some students are afraid to voice out their opinions in front of fellow
Very
people.
shy.
You can
Being
just
one of
shout
the
out
students who did not attend the General Assembly,
Yeah.
I admit that the change should come also from within the students, and they should assert that the curriculum is too hard or too difficult. We need you to change it, to modify it.
So would anyone else like?
I think there have been a proposal earlier to extend the clinical hours, clinical duty hours. So I think someone proposed it.
We just set it as a criteria.
As a criteria.
criteria.
So I think in extending the clinical hours, although I'm not sure how the faculty will be able to extend the clinical hours, but I agree with it because the main, I think as a nurse, you are more than the theoretical side. Although you pass the board exam, one of the fears that a professor may have is that the student may not be able to perform well or making medication errors. So if you're going to weigh the gravity of the mistakes done in the wards, like for example, if you're just good in theoreticals but you're really not good in mixing medicine with a sunset, then there had been an overdose. I think it bears more weight than just, for example, if you forgot the indication or the term for what do you call that regulator that you put. If you're going to produce nurses who are ethical at work, I think we should really focus on the clinical side of the profession.
In addition to what Ella said, I think we're all familiar to the continuous care because when you go to the hospital for 4 hours only, you leave your patient and then you don't know what happens next. And then when the next day your patient is gone, all your papers go to waste, and then you find another patient. So if we extend our clinical hours, we will be able to master it because I experienced a continuous care and the feeling is actually different. Well, of course, your papers didn't go to waste. And actually, the care is also good because you can actually plan for what you can implement and then you can evaluate if it's fine. So, based on that, you can see that there are results, right? So that's what.
So are there other solutions to be added? Anyone like to propose? Okay. So we agree that, of course, we generally agree that the nursing curriculum should be extended up to 5 years. Yes. Yes. Okay. But then we somehow have like different opinions on the order of the subjects, right? So at first, Shane said that she wanted the GEs to be first, but then Ella gave also another proposal which isn't too extreme, not like the GEs first or the GEs last, but the GEs to be properly distributed all throughout. So we all agree on that, right? Yes. So other than that, student participation is also included as what Susanna has mentioned. So with these solutions, we should evaluate also of how efficient could these work, right? Okay, so how do you think would we be able to see if it could actually work and if it could be accurate and efficient and help?
Let's start with statistics. Let's see if the number of regular students drop.
Yeah, if there had been a drop in number of mental health cases, then I think it's one predictor because mental health cases are rising. But if we introduce a new curriculum which is more conducive to learning and rest, maybe we drop in the number of mental health cases.
I think it is also good to ask for the reactions or opinions of the students taking up the new curriculum if set, or if we have any comments or many more suggestions with not only the students but also for the professors, because since they also teach, their time is also affected, not only the students.
I think the clinical performance of the students should also be evaluated to see if there's a change in performance.
But in general, like given all the solutions that we
Yeah.
propose,
I think
how would we evaluate which one is the better one or the best?
Well, for me, as students, we could start with increasing the student participation so that it's a stepping stone to achieve our long-term goals, which is to, or not, if short-term goals,
Yes.
to achieve the, for example, extension of the curriculum to 5 years, because it should start within our student body as well.
So
that's
you're
our
getting
first-
the feedback
Yes,
first of
yes.
the students, so they can decide. We can
Yes.
decide.
As their opinions are really
Yes.
needed in this
I think
concern.
at this time that we are planning a new curriculum, I think what Paul has been saying is that what are the criteria or
Yeah, criteria.
standard that we have proposed a lot of solutions.
What are the criteria to
Like, which one is better? Is this feasible? For example, we had given some solutions like 5-year extension. So we must see first, is it feasible? Can the budget of the university carry the cost of 5-year education? Of course, since we are subsidized, there can be also changes in the way that tuition fees are matriculated. So things like that. So we should measure that this can be effective even at the planning stage. So we have still have yet to see the effect of it after we implement it.
Just like what Ella said, so we're just in the planning phase, and what she proposed was the feasibility study.
Yes.
So you just see first for now what is the most feasible among all the proposals that we've come up with. Yes.
For me, I think the most visible is what Ella suggested, the rearranging of the courses. Not necessarily GE all first and then majors last, but distributing the GE subjects and then correlating it also as a GE prereq subject to the major which requires this GE. So I think the most visible for now among the solutions we have suggested is the rearranging of the order of the subjects taken.
The streamlining.
The streamlining, yes.
So other than feasibility studies, what else? What are the other ways that we could evaluate each one so we could choose the best?
I have a question regarding the plan of extending the curriculum into a 5-year plan. How are we sure that it will be effective? Because we know that our faculty is not that much and we lack the professors to teach.
I think that accounts with the feasibility. Like,
Yes.
if we are going to make it 5-year, we have to consider the resources. So I think we all know we cannot implement this one time in one curriculum that there's 5 years, it is already streamlined. We have to accept that maybe we can implement some and some are not. So in the long run, maybe we can see the 5-year curriculum in more years to come. But since we are still in this planning stage, rearranging the GEs would be more possible.
so what Ella said.
So is there anyone else who would like to add to that?
Well, to further evaluate this, if we want to look at this objectively, we could look at the grades of the students.
So performance.
Yeah, their performance. So, and we could ask their teachers, like if there's a prerequisite subject and then the next year they take that subject, we could ask their professors for that subject how good did they perform when they ask questions from their previous prerequisite subjects, so that we could really say that streamlining those subjects are effective.
Okay, but we're just testing now for like all the possible solutions. So are you planning to try each solution out and then check all the performances per batch?
We could look at their grades.
You're gonna look at the grades, but then what solution are you going to apply? You have to, because we're still choosing the best solution. Right? So what could be a way to choose the best solution?
I think Ella's solution is the Ella's way.
Ella's way. Ella's plan.
Just
Ella's way
The feasibility.
of evaluating the solution is the most feasible.
Most
The practical one.
Okay. So other more?
But I think also the student participation is feasible, just as feasible as rearranging the subjects, because it is only through the student council.
Yes.
The student council is very open to changes.
I said that would be our first step. Yeah.
She said.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so
But I also agree with NJ a while ago that performance of the students should be seen as an indicator to look for the best solution, because in the first place we did this discussion for the students' benefit on how they will be performing in school if the curriculum will be modified.
I think if we are going to use the performance indicators, so if we're going to use that concept, there will be a change in the solution that we will choose. Because first, if rearranging the GE subject is the best solution, why do we have to rearrange it? Our students are a bit performing well in the theoreticals. If we are going to focus with the performance, then the one who needs, I think, the solution that needs more attention and more urgent is the one with the clinical setting, because we all know the difficulties students are faced with difficulties in the clinical setting. So that would be another point. So I think it's we need to reach a consensus on which of the indicators or which of the evaluators we choose. Is it about the performance or the feasibility? So I think we need to weigh these things.
But to clarify, what would be under the feasibility studies?
I think the feasibility, the duration on how are you going to, of course, if you're going to change the curriculum, it has to be in the presence of the dean,
Yes.
and then you're going to send it to the office of the vice chancellor or the chancellor. Then of course, CHED has to approve it.
Yes.
Then have to review it. If of course CN is Center of Excellence, so any changes in the curriculum would mean something to that Center of Excellence. It's either they can stay with the Center of Excellence thing, or they can jump from the title because of that change in curriculum. So if we are going to implement a 5-year course, it would be harder or more difficult for the college to implement, because it has to go through many stages. We all know that UP is very bureaucratic. It has to pass in different offices, from the dean to the chancellor to the Commission of Higher Education. Compared with just rearranging, you will only have to contact the office of the college secretary of class, and then that's it. The restriction will just be changed from being from year one being restricted for nursing in this SEM. It will just be changed into a different subject.
Yes, I agree with that. So, to add more, any more? Okay, so we've agreed, of course, that feasibility studies would be able to evaluate the best solution to this problem, but also the performance also of the students can also be considered. Yeah, previous performance. Yes, and the student participation as well. So with that, I think we can all decide well on the best solution to this problem. And we've all agreed upon the extension. In conclusion, we've all agreed to the extension of the first curriculum. And are there any more comments, suggestions to be
We
added?
agreed also on the order, the arranging the order of the general education subjects and the major courses.
So if we are going to implement our plans, which of these solutions will be prioritized? Because I think after this meeting, we had to reach a consensus that if we're going to implement this will go first because it is more possible.
Rearranging the general
Streamlining. Streamlining is the
Education
First priority.
first priority.
Yeah, I agree. I think we already.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Consensus.
we've reached the
How about if the streamlining would not be possible? What would be the next in line?
Well, increasing the student participation. Actually, yeah.
The last would be the
Last would be
extension.
extension.
It's quite a long-term goal.
long-term goal.
long-term.
Would really undergo
A lot of
What about the lengthening the clinical hours?
I think it would
I think it will fall after.
it would fall with streamlining, I believe.
I think it would rank higher than 5.
higher than 5 but not higher than
participation.
it will come after the
Student.
line. Yeah, further in the
Definitely it would
after the student participation.
because we need to consider the opinions of the students and the faculty resources.
The faculty are paid based on the hours.
Yes.
So that would be another thing. The agreement with the hospital that we are going to extend the hours, the responsibility, the liability whenever we do our duty in education.
So just to clarify, our first is
Streamline.
and the participation.
Yes.
Students participation.
And then like extending the curriculum for RGP. The last one will be lengthening the curriculum for 5 years.
5 years.
4 years and 5 years.
Yeah, kasi yes.
That's so. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Yay. Thank you so much
Thank you so much.
for synthesizing your answers.